You like magic, you like science, you're interested in ancient Greece, and you like to read. I think I might have something for you. Hi folks and welcome back. Today I'm quite excited to introduce a new feature of the Forbidden Histories project to you guys. As you know, every video I make comes with a dedicated page on the Forbidden Histories website, which lists my historical sources and of course recommended readings. And if you saw my review of the Myth of Disenchantment, you already know that there are more videos in the pipeline in which I'll talk about specific books. Also, at the very heart of the Forbidden Histories website is a page with key readings, which I put together for you and update on a regular basis. While almost all of the listed books are from the academic history of science, I try to focus on titles which I think are digestible for general readers who aren't trained historians. Whenever I post a plug for these key readings on social media, the responses are always really encouraging. One of my followers who is quite passionate about books is Mike Bevel in the States. Now, Mike had the idea to organize weekly Zoom meetings for those of you who would like to discuss some of your readings and of course meet people who share your interests. Mike also mentioned it might be great to have a place where he can post notes and summaries for each session and where members of this reading group can continue their discussions. We're also conscious that Zoom is not everybody's cup of tea and that not everybody might be able to tune in to the sessions. So I decided to set up a page on Reddit for you guys where you can read notes and participate in discussions anytime you like. I put the link to the Reddit page down in the description box, so go forth and check it out.
Oh my god, aren't you like a little old for Reddit, a boomer?
Yeah, I'm also way too old for YouTube. So, speaking of old, Mike suggested to kick off the meetings by discussing the first book on the ancient history section of the list, The Greeks and the Irrational. This was written by Dodds, an Irish classicist and expert on Neoplatonism at the University of Oxford. Now, some might say this is not strictly a history of science book. However, science is of course the widely supposed epitome of reason and rationality here in the West, with many of its cultural roots going back to ancient Greece. And since the book has a lot of pretty unique material on ancient magic, I thought it was a great title to start with. Also, the book is important in regard to at least two key questions which are at the heart of my own historical research. A. How do we make sense of continuities of magic in modern Western science and academia? And B. Who were the people who wrote histories of science or rationality and magic, and why were they interested in magic in the first place? Now, Dodds was a rather well-known academic in his time. The thing that's not widely known about Dodds is that his interest in magic wasn't merely historical or theoretical. In fact, from 1960 to 63, Dodds served as president of the Society for Psychical Research in London, a scientific organization dedicated to critical but open-minded investigations of spiritualism and other ostensibly occult phenomena. The archives of the Society for Psychical Research are housed at Cambridge University Library. And that's where you can find notes of Dodds' experimental sittings with one of the most famous trance mediums of the time, Gladys Osborne Leonard. This is quite interesting because in his book, Dodds explicitly compares the ancient oracles with present-day trance mediums, although he didn't specifically mention his own experiences. We will come back to the topic of oracles in a future video that specifically looks at the way histories of ancient Greek oracles were literally rewritten during the Enlightenment as a way to popularize certain views on magic during that time. The example of Dodds is also interesting because it highlights historical nuances in attitudes to spiritualism and mediumship. Because even though he apparently believed that mediums could sometimes produce genuine anomalies, he categorically doubted that these were actually evidence for life after death. This was in fact the topic of an article Dodds published in the Proceedings of the Society for Psychical Research in 1934. If you watched the final video in our series on alleged poltergeist disturbances, you might remember that we addressed similar non-spiritualist approaches that still preserved belief in the reality of occult phenomena. Anyway, these are just some possible topics you could talk about if you wanted. But the concrete angles of your discussions are of course completely up to you guys. In any case, check out the link to the Reddit page in the description box below, and do let me know how you like the idea of a reading group. Also remember to subscribe and click the bell so you won't miss any new videos. And that's it already for today. Thank you for watching, happy reading, and see you next time.